All right. Welcome back, Little Weird Churchers. Time for another daily Bible reading. It's October the 14th. It's getting close to Halloween, so I hope you guys are getting prepared for that. I personally very much like Halloween. It might be pagan. I mean, I just like being able to dress up. So, if you could, go ahead and like the podcast wherever you're at and the Facebook group. And we're live on the Wisdom app if you would like to join us live. Today we're going to be in the book of Job. We're slowly going through the book of Job, and it's very interesting. It's a game of words, is what I would describe it. You've got Job, who's gone through so much in his life, and then he has these friends that want to console him and make him feel better, but they're literally just making things worse. It reminds me of The Office. Have you guys ever seen The Office? There's a scene where Jim is going to get punched by Roy. And his girlfriend at the time, Karen, is like, when I heard that he liked another girl, her name is Pam. When I heard that he liked Pam, we had hours of conversation. And Roy just wanted to hit him. I don't know which one he hated worse. And I feel like Job has gone through so much. He's lost all his family. He's lost his house. He's lost all his livestock. And these three quote-unquote friends are here. And I don't know which one he hates more, losing everything or having these friends that just continually want to condemn him. But we'll keep on reading. Chapter 16, then Job answers, I have heard many such things. You are all miserable comforters. As you can see, Job is just, he's saying they're miserable. They're miserable to be around. Why did you even come here? Shall vain words have an end? Or what provokes you that you answer? I also speak as you do. If your soul were in my soul's place, I could join words together against you and shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth. The solace of my lips would relieve you. Though I speak, my grief is not subsided. Though I forbear, what am I eased? But now, God, you have surely worn me out. You have made all my company desolate. You have shriveled me up. This is a witness against me. My leanness rises up against me. It testifies to my face. He has torn me in his wrath and persecuted me. He has gnashed on me with his teeth. My adversary sharpens his eye on me. They have gaped on me with their mouth. They have struck me on the cheek reproachfully. They gather themselves together against me. God delivers me to the ungodly and casts me into the hands of the wicked. I think we've all been there where we think, where is God? And he has cast me down and he just won't listen. I was at ease and he broke me apart. Yes. He has taken me by the neck and dashed me to pieces. He has also set me up for his target. His archers surround me. He splits my kidneys apart and does not spare. He pours out my bile on the ground. He breaks me with his breach on breach. He runs at me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth on my skin and have thrust my horn in the dust. My face is red with weeping. Deep darkness on my eyelids, although there is no violence in my hands, and my prayer is pure. Man, I can just feel his agony, and I hope that you can too, because he's just so eloquent in his words when it comes to saying what he's just feeling inside. And I know that all of us have been there at some point in our lives. Earth, don't cover my blood. Don't let my cry have no place to rest. Even now, behold, my witness is in heaven. He who vouches for me is on high. My friends scoff at me. My eyes pour out tears to God that he would maintain the right of a man with God, of a son of man with his neighbor. For when a few years have come, I will go away of no return. Saying, why am I even, feeling this much pain if one day I'm just going to die? Chapter 17, my spirit is consumed, my days are extinct, and the grave is ready for me. Surely there are mockers with me. My eyes dwells on their provocation. Now give a pledge, be collateral for me with yourself. Who is there who will strike hands with me? For you have hidden their heart from understanding. Therefore you will not exalt them. He who denounces his friends for plunder, even the eyes of his children will fail. But he has made me a byword of the people. They spit in my face. My eye also is dim for reason of sorrow. All my members are as a shadow. Upright men will be astonished at this. The innocent will stir himself up against the godless. Yet the righteous will hold to his way. He who has clean hands will grow stronger and stronger, but as for you all, come back. I will not find a wise man among you. My days are past, my plans are broken off, as are the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into day, saying the light is near in the presence of darkness. If I look for Sheol as my house, Sheol was what they called hell back then. If I have spread my couch into the darkness, if I have said to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, my mother and my sister, where then is my hope? As for my hope, who will see it? Shall it go down with me to the gates of Sheol, or descend together into the dust? Then Bildad the Shuhite answered. This is the one that started out being extremely harsh. So he's probably even going to be harsher. So let's see what he says. How long will you hunt for words? Consider and afterwards will we speak. Why are we counted as animals, which have become unclean in your sight? You will tear yourself in your anger. Will the earth be forsaken for you, or will the rock be removed out of its place? Saying, why are you calling us dirty and dogs? And why are you talking down to us? And it's interesting to note that Job never did. He's just not buying what they're talking about. He's just not believing what they're saying, because he knows that he has done nothing wrong. And if he did, he atoned for it. And they are just harping on the same old verse that they did at the beginning, is that God punishes the wicked. And it's just not true. You can take something true, blow it out of proportion, and now it's wrong. Yes, God does punish the wicked. Obviously. But that's not the sole purpose of punishing. Verse 5. Yes, the light of the wicked will be put out. The spark of his fire won't shine. The light will be dark in his tent. His lamp above him will be put out. The steps of his strength will be shortened. His own counsel will cast him down, for he has cast into a net by his own feet, and he wanders into its mesh. A snare will take him by the heel. A trap will catch him. A noose is hidden for him in the ground. A trap for him on the path. Terrors will make him afraid on every side, and will chase him at the heels. His strength will be famished. Calamity will be ready at his side. The members of his body will be devoured. The firstborn of death will devour his members. He's trying to, you can imagine him pounding his fist, saying, his points. The members of his body will be devoured. He's saying that God does not like the wicked, and he will punish them. You can see one of these old-timey preachers in the pulpit bringing down hell and brimstone. Verse 14, he will be rooted out of the security of his tent. He will be brought into the king of terrors. There will be dwelt in his tent that which is none of his. Sulfur will be scattered on his habitation. His roots will be dried up beneath. His branch will be cut off above. His memory will perish from the earth. He will have no name in the street. He will be driven from the light into darkness and chased out of the world. He will have neither son nor grandson among his people, nor any remaining where he lived. Those who come after will be astonished at his day, as those who went before were frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the unrighteous. This is the place of him who doesn't know God. Which is completely ridiculous. He's saying things that just aren't true. How many times have we gone through life and we've seen people who are completely terrible people, and yet they succeed in life? And we have to understand that is the point, is because we sinned at the garden. When Adam ate that apple, when God told him not to, he bowed down to Satan. He bowed down to Lucifer. Who owned the world? We did. Man owned the world. So when he bowed down to Lucifer, guess who inherited the world? Lucifer. That is why it says Satan is the god of this world. He's the prince of the air. So when bad things happen, God can't do anything because free will, and Satan owns the world. Chapter 19, then Job answered, how long will you torment me and crush me with words? You have reproached me 10 times. You aren't ashamed that you attack me. If it is true that I have erred, my error remains with myself. If indeed you will magnify yourselves against me and plead against me my reproach, know now that God has subverted me and has surrounded me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry out for help, but there is no justice. He has walled up my way so that I can't pass, and has set darkness in my path. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. Job is looking for something that he did wrong, something that he hasn't atoned for, but he can't think of it. And he's just asking the question that I think we've all asked before, is the question, why? Why is this happening to me? When my son was murdered, and this is my own story, when my son was murdered, that's all I asked for about a year. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to my son? I'm a firm believer that my son was born to save my soul. I was not a good person before my son was born. My son gave me a heart to search for the truth. And when he passed away, I searched for more truth. And that truth led me to God and his righteousness. It led me to believe in Jesus. I thank my son for being born, that I might be with him in heaven in Jesus. Verse 11, he has also kindled his wrath against me. He counts me among his adversaries. His troops come on together, build a siege ramp against me, and encamp around my tent. He has put my brothers far from me. My acquaintances are wholly estranged from me. My relatives have gone away. My familiar friends have forgotten me. Those who dwell in my house and my maid consider me a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I call to my servant, and he gives me no answer. I beg him with my mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife. I am loathsome to my children of my own mother. Even young children despise me. If I arise, they speak against me. All my familiar friends abhor me. They whom I love have turned against me. My bones stick to my skin and to my flesh. I have escaped my skin of my teeth. He must have been in a really bad shape, physically. Enough to where when he rises up, the kids are just disgusted at him. Verse 21, have pity on me, you my friends, for the hand of God has touched me. For the hand of God has touched me. Why do you persecute me as God and aren't satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written, or that they were inscribed in a book. How convenient they are. With an iron pen and lead they are engraved in the rock forever. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives. In the end, he will stand upon the earth. After my skin is destroyed, then I will see my God in the flesh, whom I, even I, will see on my side. My eyes will see, and not as a stranger. My heart is consumed within me. If you say, how will we persecute him? Because the root of the matter is found in me. Be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishments of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. He knows that the only person that's going to give him an answer is God himself. And that's what he's longing for at this point, is to die so that he can get the answers that he's looking for, which is the question, why? Why is this happening to me? You know, not a perfect person. No one is, except for Jesus, who came in flesh as God. But no one's perfect, but he has atoned for his sins. He has asked for forgiveness. He has made the sacrifices. So why is this still happening? He's asking the question, why? Which I know that all of us at some point in our life has gone through a bad time and asked the same question. This is a good book. This is a good book. It's therapy for me, at least. The last thing we're going to do today is Proverbs 22, verse 1. A good name is more desirable than great riches, and loving favor is better than silver and gold. That rings true. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for everything that you've given us. Bless the people as they're listening today, as we're going through the book of Job. Know that when they're going through suffering, doesn't mean that you're not there, and that you will give the answer as long as we keep on searching for it. Help us go through this day and be with us and tell us what you want us to do today. Name and pray. Amen. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. If you could go ahead and like the podcast wherever you're at, and go on the Wisdom app, because we're live, and join the Facebook group. It's in the description. So, love you guys. I'll see you later, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.